Hello friends, this video is on valvular heart diseases. Now this is not for medicine per se, it's for the first prof students primarily. So we'll be discussing the basics related to the valvular heart diseases. So let's start. Now the first point is, what is the function of a valve, whether a heart valve or any other valve? It is to allow unidirectional flow. When the valve is open, there will be flow that will occur through that passage or through the valve, and when the valve is closed, there would not be retrograde flow. To prevent that backflow is the function of any valve. So let's take the example of mitral valve. For instance, it's between left atrium and left ventricle. Now, when the mitral valve is open, the blood will flow from left atrium to left ventricle. But when the mitral valve is closed, it won't allow the blood to go backward from left ventricle to the left atrium, because that is not how the blood should flow. So that's the function of a valve. Now with that in mind, let's understand some basic aspects related to the valvular heart diseases. There are two types of diseases: stenosis and regurgitation of the heart valves. Now, stenosis is the condition which is related to the open valve. When the valve is supposed to be open, but it is not allowing the blood to flow properly. That's stenosis. Regurgitation is a condition associated with a closed valve. Means the valve is closed. It is supposed to prevent the backflow of blood, but if it is not able to do so, it's not able to prevent the backflow of blood. That's a incompetent valve, previously called as incompetence, now called as regurgitation. So that's the other condition. At a very basic level, two types of conditions of the valves: stenosis, a condition related to the open valve, and regurgitation associated with the closed valve. The condition, disease associated with a closed valve. Now, in addition to this, there is one more point. There are foreign sounds or adventitious sounds produced in the valvular heart diseases. They are called as murmurs. Why the murmurs occur? Murmurs occur in the valvular heart diseases because of the turbulence in the blood flow. Whether the valve is narrowed, stenosed, or it is incompetent, it creates a certain turbulence in the blood, and that turbulence produces a sound called as murmur. Let's start and look at them one by one, starting with the stenosis. What is stenosis? In the stenosis, valve orifice is narrowed. Even if the valve is open, it has a certain diameter, open valve, and it allows the blood to go through. But in the stenosis condition, valve orifice is narrowed and the valve leaflets adhere to each other. They stick to each other. And because of this, the valve does not allow normal amount of blood to pass through. So a valve is open, but it's unable to allow the blood to pass through in a normal amount. So blood does not pass through from one chamber to the other chamber because of the stenosis. And two important points. One is, chamber behind the valve is hypertrophied because of a high pressure. Let's say mitral valve. The chamber behind the mitral valve is left atrium, because it's the left atrium which is sending the blood through the mitral valve into the left ventricle. Left ventricle is ahead of the mitral valve and behind is the left atrium. So chamber behind the valve has to generate extra force. It has to generate extra pressure to send the blood through the stenosed valve, and therefore pressure in that chamber behind the valve, the pressure increases and there is hypertrophy of that chamber. The muscle mass of that chamber behind the stenosed valve is enlarged. The muscle mass is enlarged. It is hypertrophied. So that's a very important point that needs to be highlighted. And another important point is murmur will be heard when valve is supposed to be open. So for this to understand, you have to know the cardiac cycle very well. Once you know the cardiac cycle, you will know in which event or in which phase of the cardiac cycle the the valve is open. That particular valve is supposed to be open and the blood flows through that valve. Once you understand that, then you will understand in a particular stenosis when exactly the murmur would be heard, whether it will be in systole or in diastole. It will depend on when that valve is supposed to be open and when that valve is supposed to send the blood. So when it is sending the blood, actually, because of the narrowing of the valve, there is turbulence of the blood going through that stenosed valve, and that generates the murmur during that particular phase. So phases of the cardiac cycle is a must-know thing for you to understand when exactly the murmurs are produced. Let's take an example, mitral stenosis. In the mitral stenosis, the mitral valve is stenosed. So when it is open, blood does not flow through that valve normally. And therefore, left atrium, the chamber behind the mitral valve, is hypertrophied. It is creating that extra pressure to send the blood through the stenosed mitral valve. So the question is, when is it that the mitral valve is open? It is during ventricular filling, obviously. When the blood has to fill in the ventricles, the mitral valve it should be open. Now, therefore, in the mitral stenosis, the murmur is typically a mid-diastolic murmur. In the early part of the diastole, there is protodiastole, isovolumic relaxation, and then the rapid filling starts. During that rapid filling, the blood goes through the stenosed mitral valve, and that creates a turbulence in the blood, generating the sound, which is the murmur, and it's mid-diastolic murmur. So mitral stenosis murmur will be mid-diastolic murmur. And why? We already discussed it, because the blood flows through the mitral valve during the diastole. Now coming to the second condition, regurgitation. Valve is incompetent. We have already said this, that regurgitation is the condition associated with a closed valve. So valve is supposed to be closed during that particular phase, and it is supposed to prevent the backflow of blood. If that does not happen, valve remains open or valve is leaky, then the blood regurgitates backward, and that's the regurgitation. So valve is incompetent, it does not close properly, and it does not prevent the backflow of blood. So blood flows back in the chamber behind the valve. Blood will flow back. So let's say left ventricle ejected the blood during systole through the aortic valve into the aorta. During diastole, when the aortic valve is supposed to close, but if it is incompetent, if there is aortic regurgitation, then as the diastole starts and left ventricular pressure falls, the blood that was sent ahead will go backward. Backward where? In the chamber behind that valve. So in the case of aortic regurgitation, the chamber behind the aortic valve is left ventricle. It is sending the blood through the aortic valve. So it is the chamber behind it. So blood will go back in that chamber which just now sent the blood forward. Valve closes, but it cannot close properly. The valve is leaky and therefore blood goes back. So blood flows back in the chamber behind the valve. It is the chamber that ejected the blood through that valve just now, and then the valve closes but does not close properly. So regurgitation of blood through that same valve. Let's take an example of aortic regurgitation. Aortic regurgitation when the aortic valve is incompetent. So what happens is, during the left ventricular systole, blood was ejected normally from the left ventricle into the aorta. Now as the diastole starts, left ventricular pressure begins to fall, and blood knows only one thing, that is to flow from high to low pressure. So as the left ventricular pressure decreases, the blood starts going backward towards the left ventricle. Normally this will be prevented by the aortic valve, but now aortic valve is regurgitant, and therefore the blood will go back from aorta back into the left ventricle during the diastole. Now this occurs at the right from the start of the diastole, and therefore the murmur of aortic regurgitation, you can answer this by yourself. It's the early diastolic murmur. As the diastole begins, left ventricular pressure suddenly falls and the blood goes back from the aorta back into the left ventricle through the regurgitant aortic valve. So early in the diastole this is going to happen, and therefore the murmur of aortic regurgitation is going to be an early diastolic murmur. Commonly it's going to be the early diastolic murmur. So that was a summary of the valvular heart diseases required at the first prof level. You will require this at the first prof, let's say in the cardiac cycle, or there may be a different question on valvular heart diseases where you can write this as a short note.